Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 6 of Thursday Night Fights here on G4G, a channel that exists on YouTube. I'm Napalm Dawn, and I will go ahead and get into the disclaimer that I do at the beginning of all of these videos. You are seeing PvAI enabled in this version because it is beta 5.9.1, the most recent available version of the game that you can go ahead and download is linked down below. That is version 5.2. 5.5, 5.6, and 5.9.1 are not available to the public for download as they are closed betas. These are betas used for very specific bug testing. These are bug hunting builds. Part of doing that is going through PvP and seeing how the programmer-led teams are working. Do they have any gear that crashes? Do they use heroes that cause crashes? So the Thursday night fights are not only about entertaining you, you're actually witnessing me do my job, which is to bug test. There are no iOS versions of the game. There are no Android versions of the game. There will never be an iOS version. There is the potential in the future of possibly using Unity converters to convert the project over to an APK, but that is a bridge to cross sometime in the very distant future. There is no ETA on Beta 6 as of yet. So let's go ahead and jump into today's PvP video. If you have seen the series, you know that I do 5 practice matches. I cannot launch the tournament over there because that will show you the conditions for PvP tournament number 2, which we don't want to show off as of yet. PvP tournament number 1, aka the Deadpool season, does not have any restrictions. So these will be practice matches. As you can see from the gear and the heroes that I'm using, this is going to be a psychic-oriented team-up. Last week was Black Panther and Black Knight, which was bleed-based. This is all going to be psychic, except for the Coulson's Revenge, which is to hopefully add extra attacks. I'm still using the melee damage reduction suit from PvP Tournament 1, the Deadpool season. We have Blaster, White Crown, Jean Grey, and we have Emma Frost. In all actuality, I think for this one, though, I should attempt to convert Jean over to Blaster Phoenix because it is a P5 team-up, and I think I'll go ahead and do that. So you get to see some of the inner workings of Beta 6 here. 5.9 is very, very close to what 6 is going to look like when it's released. But what you're going to witness me doing is taking away the ISOs from the White Crown suit, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Blaster version of the P5. So it looks like we probably have some violence. Alright, so we've taken them off. Flip over to the Blaster version of the Phoenix suit. Buy it, equip it, make sure you hit equip down there, and then let's go ahead and move those ISOs over. They probably were not strongs. I bet they were the violence. Yes, they are, because I'm seeing attack and accuracy. For the purples, they were probably some relentlesses. Stamina and attack look good. Accuracy's a tiny bit low. Health is not that great. Okay, that's probably good enough for now. And we will change Phoenix over here. And voila, there's the setup. 2 P5 characters and my agent. This will probably be true of Beta 6 when it releases, but if you are on this screen and you play around with your agent gear, so for example, if I go to the Mindkiller and I switch it out for the Rook, and then I go back and I get the Mindkiller again, when you go to PvP and you want to change your gear for your PvP team, usually the most recent gear that you've been screwing with appears at the top of the list. At least the last time, earlier when I was doing it, it appeared over here, but this time it actually seems to be following the more PvE side of it and sticking it at the end of listings. That's the Soul Drainer. That is also a psychic weapon. I could be putting that in for the Coulson's Revenge and get a little bit of a heal, but potentially the Coulson's Revenge might be able to proc and add extra attacks over here. Plus, you know, it is... why am I getting the tooltip for the Mindkiller? Hold on a second. I'm going to switch weapons really quick over there because that's not the right tooltip. Maybe it'll work now. No? Okay, wow, that's interesting. Oh, they're flipped. See, this is why we do this bug testing. Yeah, this is a little strange over here. I'm getting the Mindkiller tooltip over here, and the Coulson's Revenge over there, and these other two are flipped too. Okay. Interesting. Well, there we go. That's going on the bug sheet. Okay, so we have Invisible Woman and Scarlet Witch. I've definitely seen a lot of this team. They seem to be using a health restoring item over there. It is Blaster Phoenix against a Bruiser Agent, so clearly we're going to do this, and that's a big opening hit. Force Volley from Infiltrator. Invisible Woman over there was pretty good. She did smack a Tactician, did not gain Infiltrator reflexes from it. We are going before Emma, so that means we could do a weak mind on somebody. I think we will do a weak mind on Scarlet Witch. She's a blaster. Kind of makes sense. So we get our tactical benefit over there. I think we'll mind tap her. Now I could go for a stun on the agent. I think I'll just go for a mind tap. His Phoenix health restore item saved him from death there, so I'll just go ahead and pop him again. Keep my... Wow. That was a really big crit from Phoenix. Okay. We know she's got mental anguish, so we don't want to use the custom only for killing. However, Infiltrator on Infiltrator over here. This should work. Custom only for killing is farmable. It comes from a story mission. And is sometimes referred to as the COFK. It is a weapon you will be able to farm when you get Beta 6, as that mission will be available to you. And as you can see, Scarlet Witch died to the mental anguish. Unlock potential does remove debuffs. However, buff removal and debuff removal are a little bit buggy right now. This would have taken away Hexed from my agent. It didn't. But that is something that I hope will be fixed in Beta 6. Now, she already has the mental anguish from the COFK, so I will just use the mental trauma, which does migraine, which means her next attack will do less damage. I could go for the telekinesis stun, however, she is already stunned. I'm going to try to mind link the agent to see if it actually works, and we get focused for it. She still had her crits up. Now we'll go ahead and use the Faulteater and get the win. So with the exception of Emma taking some damage over there, pretty standard match. By the way, shout out to Chick Canyon, who often comments on a lot of the Thursday night fight videos. Just want to give a shout out over there. Same team, this time my agent goes first. I don't have any psychic related debuffs out, so the Faulteater will do burning and biofeedback, but it won't be buffed as of yet. So I will go ahead and use the custom only for killing, and I will go for the enemy agent. Actually, some reasonable top-end damage from the gun. Now, the gun is really about mental anguish, but that's still pretty good top-level damage there. Another pretty good Side Blast crit. Looks like I may have to add that Side Blast. I'm not too sure if it's the COFK doing it. That is a stuck damage sprite over there. Heavy Ion Beam is one of the ones that does it, and there are a few guns that leave a stuck splash damage sprite there. So being Force Cage actually worked in my favor on that one. It rebuffed the Scarlet Witch attack. I'll go ahead and go for the enemy agent again, keep that blaster on bruiser crits, and another huge crit from Phoenix to put away the bruiser. Now, this should actually take away the Force Cage. This would be a good use of unlock potential, but I believe it is expiring naturally. I'm going to COFK the Invisible Woman. Yeah, okay, so it does seem to be the custom only for killing or the COFK that is leaving that stuck splash damage. Jean is really doing a bucket of damage for this team. The two P5 outfits, of course, have a ton of synergy. A lot of really, really good passives there, and at least with a bruiser being around, Phoenix is definitely hauling ass for damage. Unfortunately, she takes a big force volley over there. I'm going to go for the Coulsons, just for the big damage. Okay, puts her near death. Take a pretty chunky Force Spheres counter there. She gets stunned, so she can't counterattack. And thanks to the Coulson, my agent goes in with the Brawl for the overkill. So we did lose Jean on that one. Same team. This is something that I haven't seen quite yet. I haven't seen 3 in a row. Usually it is better balanced on this. I may... Because I do PvP on the streams on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, aside from the Thursday night fights, I do get to see quite a lot of PvP. And I think I'm going to make the recommendation to the team that they should see if there is a way of coding a bit of a cooldown on the teams. It could be that when Beta 6 drops, you will wind up facing more teams, so perhaps there will be a bigger pool and the chance of getting duplicates will lessen, but it could be interesting to see if they could introduce code that sort of puts defensive teams on cooldowns. What you saw there after the signpost was used, the people who come to the stream are familiar with what that is. Signpost, as of right now, causes a little bit of what's called hyper combat. It's where you will see sort of like a bunch of items just basically get a bunch of actions get like all queued up, and then they all, it's like machine gun go burr. They just kind of all stack on each other and just happen within like a split second of each other. The signpost is one of the things that does it. Also, Scarlet Witch's probability field does it a bit too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit her with the Mindkiller, which will make her more susceptible to psychic attacks. And it, you know, it also does pretty decent damage. That Psy Blast was actually a little bit less damage than I thought it would, considering she is now weak to psychic damage. I thought it would do a little bit more than that. Like that. There we go. I gotta tell you, Phoenix is really hauling ass for this team up over here. Fourth match, we finally get somebody different. It is a Protector agent wearing a blaster suit and is protecting through the Hoarfrost mace. That is a Bruiser Hulk, so we have the class benefit here, 2 of them, but that is Scrapper Quicksilver, and I have an Infiltrator agent, so they have 1 class benefit over us, and we have 2. I'm going to go ahead and go with the COFK on the agent. It's a lot of good gear that my agent has, so sometimes the opening gear or the opening weapon usage definitely takes some thought. I could have Mindkillered the agent as a setup for Emma. Hulk is pretty chunky on his hit points, but they almost neatly get halved by Phoenix over here. That is not the stun move, so we're good there. Gonna go ahead and Psychic Tap the enemy agent, which they already have it. But I figured there was no need for the... Wow! Maybe I should have gone for the stun. Good lord. So we know that there is a Mental Anguish ready to proc over here. I am going to go ahead and Mindkiller the enemy agent, because they're going to wind up tanking anyway because of the Hoarfrost mace. But being a psychic energy attack, that might actually get around tanking. I have to check the tooltip on that. Emma is just about ready to lose her life. I'm going to go for a stun on Hulk. That one definitely got protected. If the Hulk does an AoE, we could be in trouble. Oof. Big Rage Punch. So we now have a 2-on-2. The Mental Anguish should actually be off Quicksilver, and he should be in that cooldown where he can't get Mental Anguish again. So I'm going to sort of honor the fact that it should be there. And we will just go ahead and try to set up Phoenix against Hulk over here. Yeah. There's the Scrapper follow-up. So this team, this Hulk and Quicksilver team, is hanging in there, but that happens. He already has the Scrapper benefit, so I lose nothing by attacking him again. And the birding and the poison take him out. So even though we're winning, we are facing a bit of an uphill battle on these, which is good. You want challenges. You don't want to be able to run over every single match. And we get a little bit of a different look over here. We have Hercules and Quicksilver with a Bruiser agent who does seem to be protecting from something. Probably the Hoarfrost mace again. We do not have any blasters. We have 2 Bruisers for Jean. We have a Scrapper against my agent. So this is a kind of balanced 1-to-1 class benefit. Uses the Quantum Jumper, which is honestly particularly scary because this is a well thought out team. Quicksilver can put out combo setup for Hercules to take advantage of Yeah, and giving this team extra turns, especially with an infiltrator over here, this could get rough. I'm going to go ahead and hit the enemy agent with the Mindkiller. Oh dear. Remember that time period in MAA when you saw that column down coming and your butthole just kind of puckered over there? Yeah. So this should remove the stun, but like I said, it's not working to its full potential. Open up with the mental trauma so that they get migraine. Oh, momentum generator. This is definitely a melee-oriented team. But the mental anguish is huge, thanks to the Mindkiller, setting up that psychic tap to do more damage. I want to stun Hercules. Quicksilver, I gotta tell you, Quicksilver's doing a pretty good job. Let's see if we can get a stun on him. Okay, we do. Migraine is there, but no mental anguish, so I'm going to hit him with the COFK. It is 3 on 2, however, hit points are fairly balanced between the team. And okay, good. Stun locking the team is actually paying off over here. Another pretty big side blast. He has migraine, so we don't need to do mental trauma. Psychic tap should be good. Mindkiller to make it do more damage. Tag team counter over there. See, there's that free combo setup for what would have been Hercules. It's good for that. Now, typically, this cannot be used right now because nobody has died on my side. So I'm not going to cheese it and use it, but as you can see, cannot be used until an ally is defeated or revived with death and rebirth. I'm going to pretend that that actually does not work. My agent is the healthiest, so I may as well use the mind link on him. Wow. Wow. That was a blaster against the Scrapper, and we have managed to get the hardest hit of the night on that telekinesis. So there you go, guys. There is a P5 psychic-oriented team with a lot of psychic gear on the agent. So the COFK is farmable. The Coulson's Revenge comes from the store. The Faulteater is from Spec Ops number 3. It is one of the tasks for Spec Ops number 3. It is a research task. And the Mindkiller, I forget exactly where it comes from. Maybe Emma's Spec Ops, which is number 2. That's why I wanted to use this particular team today, because Emma was recruited somewhat recently when I finished Spec Ops 2, and I'm now moving on to Spec Ops 3, which gives us Magic. Really excited for that. Magic is one of my favorite characters. I love her animations. I love her sounds. Her level 1 and her level 9, the stepping disc and the soul sword attack, are some of my favorite animations in the game. Also one of my favorite heroes to play over in Marvel Heroes. You can check out my channel to see how you can get version 0.3.0 for Marvel Heroes, the server emulator, and play Marvel Heroes again, aside from playing Marvel Avengers Alliance again. So, as we hit the outro over here, again, reminder that Beta 6, there is no ETA. What you were looking at is Beta 5.9.1, which is a fairly reasonable facsimile of what Beta 6 will have. Beta 6 will hopefully have bugs fixed that are exposed in Beta 5.9.1. The most recent version that you can download is 5.2, which is linked below. And you can go through the first Spec Ops in 5.2 and recruit Mockingbird. Once Beta 6 drops, you will be able to do other Spec Ops and other PvP tournaments. So, thanks for checking out this video, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of the Soothing Premium missions here in Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux, otherwise known as ASM AAR. Catch you guys tomorrow.